You're listening to Nocturnal Frequency Radio, hosted by Steve Jenny and his satanic assistant, Alex Houdini, both of whom can't go into churches without vomiting.
Hey, how's it going, Alex? Vomiting. Yes, without vomiting. Speaking of Doctor Who. I should get a Davros and put David Ferrot.
Yeah.
How you doing? Everything good?
Good. Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Outside your nasty little cold.
Yeah, that's about it.
The one that doesn't want to disappear.
Nope. No matter how much I drown it in alcohol.
Maybe you just don't have the right alcohol.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, speaking of, remember I showed you that bottle of Beer Zombies single shot malt, malt bourbon. Oh, man, I'm having a hard time with it, man. Getting it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it.
Well, yeah, keep trying, man.
I'm going to keep trying. I'm determined. It looks very tasty. Indeed. Hello, Tracy. How are you? Tonight we are going to have our good friend Richard Palmisano on, and we'll bring him on here in a few seconds. We're going to analyze a popular YouTube vlog, if you will, called Sam and Colby, and they spend a week in the original, the real Conjuring House, you know, and we're going to kind of go over some of the things there, and then we're going to talk about soul stealing swapping. You know it's funny, I was reading about this thing in China in the 1790s, I believe it was 1790s. There was actually some masons up on trial for apparently using witchcraft to steal the souls of others.
Nice.
And they
succeeded.
Yeah, no. They weren't found guilty of any wrongdoing.
This was where again?
In China.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the Masons are even allowed in China.
Well, back then, this you got to remember, it was different back then, right?
Yeah.
This is way before communism. So, I mean, things were a lot different in China.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is when the dynasties ruled.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think this was in between two dynasties. I can't remember which dynasty it was that just came into rule. And yeah, again, I'll track it down. I'll track the story down again. It's rather interesting. But anyhow, without any further ado, let's bring in that Richard guy. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's going on?
He is. There he goes. How are you?
Good.
What's new? What's yeah, not bad. How about you?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very nice. Great weather today.
Oh, beautiful weather, huh?
Gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful weather.
Only hang on to this till June.
Yeah, I wish.
June's our new winter. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wow. You just got to burn more plastics, aren't we?
Exactly. So what's new and exciting?
Just plugging away, doing working on some stories, working on some ideas. Just tackling some old theory, some of the old theories.
Yeah.
Like the geists and stuff like that. I mean, you have to look at these old theories. They've been around for 100 years. And,
well, yeah. I mean, a lot of what, even now, you kind of think, well, hey, they're kind of lost. I mean, when you look at the paranormal field, I mean the real field, like the
Yeah.
actual field, the research and experimental sort of field of the paranormal, not
Right.
the entertainment, TV sort of realm of the paranormal. These are things that have been in place for like you said, 100 years at least.
100 years, 150 years, depends on the theory. But I'm going back
Yeah.
and I'm looking at them and I'm examining. I'm sort of dissecting, if you will,
Yeah.
applying it to not just my field work, but other people's field work as well.
Mhm.
Their accounts, observations, different experiments and tests that have been run.
Yeah.
A lot of these theories, I think, are wrong, and don't get me wrong. I'm not a genius. I'm just dissecting stuff to see how it works and does it actually fit in, because we're not making any progress in the field.
Mhm.
There's reasons for that, but this is one of the reasons. If you're taking a theory that's been written in stone and we believe it's true, and now everything we observe in the field, we're trying to fit to that theory,
Mhm.
we're not getting anywhere for some reason. So are we doing something wrong, or is the theory wrong? So we need to dissect those things and look at them seriously, and if they're wrong, they're wrong. We just move on.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of things that have been around, like, well, theories, not things, but theories that have been around. We absolutely have to revisit them. We absolutely. It's like saying something simple, like what I like to say, Richard. I hate the phrase ghost. I think it's archaic. I don't even think it properly describes what we're dealing with.
Right.
You know, it's neat, it's niche, it's ghosts are ghosts, but I mean, to me, it doesn't fit anymore.
Well, and it's true, and we don't, for a lot of things, be it within the paranormal, be it ghosts, for example, even extraterrestrials or something like that. We just don't have the language, hasn't evolved. So we don't have the language to reach out and progress, because how do you explain something if you don't have the words for it? So we have to revert back to something that was used 170 years ago and say, it's that. That's the thing, right? I mean, it's like demonic. We use the word demonic. Because it's there. It's readily available. It sort of fits what we're trying to talk about, right? It was dark, it was evil, it was menacing, whatever. So you go down the lexicon, okay, demonic. We don't have the verbiage to describe what we're trying to describe. So we go back and we pick from, the easy fruit. There it is. I'm just going to use that word. So that's one of the.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing that is like non-existent, really, Richard. That's even like, wow, you're going back and you're analyzing old theories and sort of, hey, do they really jive anymore? Do they need to be tweaked? And I mean, who really does that anymore outside people who are very serious about the paranormal?
Oh, nobody's doing it.
Nobody.
I don't know. I don't know and I know a lot of different teams through Canada and the United States. I don't know a whole lot of people that are actually looking at theory. I built theory myself, and I don't know a lot of people. And that's just the meat and potatoes of it, right? I mean, it can be a thrill seeker and you can run around like a maniac going to, oh, there's a ghost over there. Okay, I done it. Moving on. I'm going to go look for another ghost. It's nonsense. I'm like a bulldog. If I find a haunted location, I will stay until they throw me out because, well, it's haunted. That's what you're there for.
Exactly.
The longer you stay, the more information they gain. These people that run around looking for haunted locations, and it's sort of like sitting on your couch and watching movie theater trailers. You go, hey, that's a cool movie. You have sort of the gist of what the movie is, but then you're off to the next trailer. What's the point? I don't know. I have a feeling, and it's unfortunate because I've written most of my books within the last 20 years, but I have a feeling in the future, some genius somewhere that's serious about this is going to take all the information from 2004 to whenever they decide they're going to be serious about it. And that entire decade's work is going to go into the trash bin.
Absolutely.
You can't trust anything.
No.
Even the good stuff. You just can't trust any of it now.
No.
Because there's so much nonsense going on. We may never find the answer now because technology, so even society, has moved into a direction where anything goes.
I mean, but when you look at it, though, When you look at it, though, Richard, I mean, for instance, we've had parlor tricks for hundreds of years,
including now.
Of course, yeah. Oh,
so I mean, you, of course, they're dressed differently now. They're more advanced now, but they're the same old thing, right?
Of course it is. Well,
and how
the
how
same
is
old?
it, how,
I mean, the technology.
No, obviously,
The
but
technology
I'm
is
just saying,
advanced. Sure.
well, that's what I mean. Things have advanced, but it's the same old thing. It's a parlor trick. The table tipping now is the Ovilus puck. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the ghost box, if you will, or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you have literally hundreds and hundreds upon hundreds of people using these different variations of this ghost box, and they really have no idea what it's doing, other than, oh my god, it's formulating words.
Yeah.
So Richard,
I talked to a guy. He's a pretty good techie guy. I don't get to see him too much, but I did run into him, and we were talking about this, and he said, "Well, all this crap on TV, because he's sort of into this stuff. He says all that crap on TV. He says I can build it myself. I can show you 200 different ways to fake stuff on TV. It's simple, You do. You can set up a remote control for your tri-field to give it hits anytime you want. Just hit the button and it'll give you a hit. You predetermine what the hit you want, 6.5 milligauss or 10. Just hit the button, it'll go up. Same with he said the best thing is EVPs. So what you do is you're an actor. You're doing a TV show.
Yeah.
So in the back room, you do an EVP session, right? You ask the questions you're going to ask, and you get your buddy there to whisper some responses to it. And then when you go on the show and you're in the middle of the show, what do? Shh, ask these questions, right? You pretend to push record, and you ask the questions. Well, they're the same, but the guy standing there, he goes, "Well, there was the same question."
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'm an actor. I remember my lines. And then you play it back and go, "Whoa, look at that! There's a hit. There's another hit. There's another." But this is what the thing is on TV. It drives me crazy. How many haunted houses have you been to where it's just nonstop? Doors are slamming and things are going on, and people are walking upstairs and things are rolling around, and everybody's talking and whispering and shadows. And
wait a sec, Richard.
I only wish it was like that.
I've got a spirit here with me right now, and they've agreed to knock. Do you have a question? Do you have a question? Ask a question, Richard. Ask a question.
Are you here?
No.
He's here. I heard him.
That was the spirit. It was
He had a burrito.
It was the spirit of Steve's
It's the burrito
anus.
monster.
Honestly, though, I mean, out of all seriousness, I do believe this. It can happen, but I mean, when people have to realize again, when it's television, it's entertainment. They have to generate something to keep your
people
interest.
Can't get in their heads. Yeah, but this is what people can't get into their heads.
It's like when you're it's like when you're a kid and you watched wrestling. It's like
yeah.
When you're a kid and watch
how many people still believe
it? Yeah. And look at I'm not again, I'm not discounting the paranormal. Absolutely not. I would not do that because I do believe there is stuff going on. Don't get me wrong. I am discounting what you're seeing on television, a lot of it. It's entertainment. It's a totally different. Yeah, it's a totally different environment. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I think we're going about it the wrong way. I think we're just going about it the wrong way. I think you need to forget everybody else, forget everything else, put your nose to the grindstone, do your research, do your work, and find a way to share it. I don't even know if I want to share it because really, what's the point of sharing it, right? You could have the best piece of evidence on the planet, and you're going to get on social media, you're going to get 2 thumbs up, 2 awesome, and 6 people going, it's nonsense, it's this or that, or who cares?
Richard, I keep saying this, but I have had some pretty compelling stuff over the years that I've been doing this. And one being what happened in the Spruce Lane farmhouse. I honestly, I've played it for everyone I can think of to analyze it, to scrutinize it, whatever, and they all sit there. I don't understand. I don't understand. I just don't understand. Did I played it for you, right?
Which one? What?
This one here. This one here. I think this is the right one. Have I played that for you before?
Yeah, it's a great capture. Yeah.
And
I did hear that before. Yeah, it's a great capture.
And, and I told you the backstory with that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, great capture.
So I mean, I could throw that out and say, look at, here is rock solid proof of the paranormal, if you will. I could do what a lot of people are doing.
You know what the problem is?
What?
Yeah, but you know what the problem is?
What?
You have a great piece of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
But who's it for? It's only for you, right?
Well, that's what I mean, yeah.
Anybody else can say, well, Steve, maybe there's kids outside, or Steve, maybe you just faked it, or maybe right? So who's it really for? It's for
Exactly.
yourself, right?
Exactly.
It builds that knowledge that you have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think maybe we don't share this stuff. Maybe it's just for us.
See,
And
I would
right?
share
Let them go on their own.
I would share it with somebody like you, Richard, because I know I would get a genuine answer, or you would truly analyze it and scrutinize it and everything else. I know you would do that, and that's what I'm looking for if I was to share this stuff with somebody who I know will look at this properly.
Well, see, I know you. I trust you. I know your work. So I trust you. And if you bring a piece of information to me, why would I suspect that you would fudge it? What's the point in that? It's not like I'm going to hand you an envelope of money because you would press it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So
Really? Where's my envelope?
I can't build a career.
Come on.
Yeah,
He's still living. He's
I don't
still
even
living.
have envelopes.
He's still living off those the residuals from those 70s porn films. No,
Oh, right.
Just kidding.
Damn. I need those kind of residuals, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that is a problem, and I think it's. But at the same time, when you look at all these, you see these paranormal unities and stuff like that. Yes, it's nice to unite and whatever else. But the thing is, it's never done properly. It's never done for the right reasons.
Well, no, of course not. You can't. It's social media. So I go, okay, we're going to do paranormal unity, and open the floor to anybody that wants to join. Well, half of them are the problem. So now you've got half of the problem in the mix that's going to disrupt any type of work you do and any type of unity you're trying to build. So it can't be done.
No.
The only way it can be done is building connections like we have. So if you know another guy that you trust, you bring him into the mix. And if I know somebody, I bring them in the mix, and we build a team that way. Right? No matter where we sit on the planet.
Yeah.
And we work together. We share information. And it's people you know and trust.
So does that mean you're not going to come to our nocturnal gathering next year?
I never said that. Should be pizza.
Oh, I don't know. Pizza sounds good though. You want something paranormal afterwards? Yeah, we'll have some burritos.
Yeah.
Or maybe even some Taco Bell. Taco Bell, yeah. You never have taco or Mexican before you go into an investigation. You're asking for trouble.
No, you understand. It's a 225 kilometer drive, right? For me to go there. Having burritos and tacos. Unless I'm staying at your house overnight.
Quick, Alex, get the special reserve out.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Richard, just bring a bucket with
Lord,
you.
No.
We've got the big fat burrito recipe. Oh yeah.
Well, I bet you do.
So, anyhow, okay. So, I sent you a link. So, did you have a chance to watch that episode?
I watched that episode. To my dismay, I did. I struggled through it. It was an hour and 8 minutes or something. I don't know. Even though I'm retired, I'm a busy guy. I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I'm doing a lot of different work. So to my horror, I watched that episode. I struggled through it. I went, okay. And then I looked over to my right and I went, are you kidding? There's 4 more episodes? I don't have that kind of time.
I didn't. No, I don't care about. I don't care about the other episodes. Just the one episode. That's fine. Because I was
very shocked. Go ahead.
You were very shocked.
I was very shocked at who I saw on the episode.
Really?
Very shocked.
You were very.
I was.
Who was on the episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Jason
you got
Hawes'
me.
kid and his new.
Yeah.
Soon to be. Satori Hawes and her boyfriend there, Cody, right? So you see how it
Colby
all
or
plays,
Cody?
right? It's
Is
one
it
big
Colby?
circle. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, the one thing I wanted.
No, his name's Cody.
Oh, Cody. Okay, so that was near. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
but
that's Satori's boyfriend.
Okay. So there you go. I mean, this episode, and you can find it in the links in the descriptions for those who haven't watched it. Go watch it if you want to. And this particular one, Sam and Colby, they go into the real Conjuring House. So, and now it's just recently changed hands. It's got new ownership, and wow. But what I want to go over is the fucking knocking bit.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll play the segment so the viewers can see, and obviously you can hear it on New Visions Radio Network, the audio. But
Right.
let's hear what you guys think about this. Okay, so here we go. Here's the segment that we're referring to.
If anybody's here and you can hear my voice, I'm going to connect with Cody right now, and wherever you are, I'm going to ask you to come close to us and just stomp your feet or hit something as loud as you can so we know you're here, okay? So if you're around, I'm standing here in this living room area. Can you come in here, please?
I feel the vibration. Yeah.
If anybody's here, I'm going to ask you. Okay, if anybody's here, I'm going to ask you to make that same noise you just made, maybe, let's say, 4 times, to let me know you can hear me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It might be a bit exciting, so I know. Okay, hold on a second. So I'm going to play a little game. If you'd like to tell me your first name, I'm going to go through the alphabet. When I get to the first letter of your name, you're going to knock. I'll restart. When I get to the second letter, you're going to knock, and I'll keep restarting until I spell out things, okay? All right. So I'm going to get your first name. A, B, Abigail Arnold. Perfect. It's great to talk to you this evening.
Wait, is this normal?
For us.
What? Dude,
So-
this is everywhere.
Do you have something you'd like to say? Okay, how many words?
Well, can I ask her something first?
Mm-hmm.
Abigail, do you know who... Can you see me pointing? Do you know who this is?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us his name?
A, B, C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, A, B, C, B. I know, I went fast on that one. Colby? Perfect.
Okay, and can you see
Fuck.
who that
Actually-
one pointing to?
Okay.
Can you tell us his name?
A, B, C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T S A. Sam. Perfect.
Bro. Wait, okay.
You want to stop for a second?
I just want to, like, talk. How? Is it always, well, like, the stomping?
Yeah, so we usually
You're
go through the
walking.
alphabet and we get full sentences sometimes, and
She's,
we have,
try-
She's trying to talk.
she's
We're gonna
trying to
watch the
say
whole series,
something.
are we?
How many words? Okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. People. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. A, B, C, D, E. Here. There are people here. Not living people. Okay. Do you know if they're from the house? 1 for yes, 2 for no? No. Are they new? Okay. How many people? Okay.
5, 6?
Are they with people that might be here tonight? Living people? Is that
Wait. Yeah, wait, what does that even mean? Does that mean like
You guys might have brought people with
5
you.
people?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was starting to cry there for a minute, man. It was hard enough
Just
to watch
like
that
that
the
guy.
first time. Yeah, so
So,
lots
okay.
of knock,
Yeah.
lots of knocking, yeah.
So what are your thoughts about that?
It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's just, come on, man. I mean, the lady, the owner, she's sitting there laughing her ass off on the couch.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like a big joke. We're gonna get. When was the last time you got a spirit to jump through hoops and play the game with you like that?
An overactive spirit at that.
Ever? Oh,
I mean,
overactive, yeah. And Abigail, from what year was she from? 17 what? She's quite the speller.
And
She knows, all the names.
Alex, have you seen that before?
I watched snippets of it. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing.
So what do you think of that?
I'm in agreement with Richard. I mean, we've all been to investigations multiple times, and it's you don't get that kind of reaction, for lack of a better term. You'll be lucky if you capture any noise that's not caused by someone walking around, wandering, and doing whatever they're doing. So to have that happen on command is a big question mark.
Yeah.
Well, they have you to believe, right? They want you to believe. And this is the big thing about TV or YouTube or wherever the hell you are. They want you to believe there's the owner sitting on the couch. There's the 2 guys that are supposedly staying there for the week. And then there's the 2 intermediary, what's her name? Satori and Cody, right? Doing their hand alphabet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They want you to believe there's the 5 of them in the room. Don't forget, there's the sound guys, there's camera crews, there's guys that run for coffee. There's probably 35 people in that house that are behind the camera. You're telling me that it's not a guy that can spell. What's his name? Oh, L's next. L? Yeah, it's L. Come on. Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have...
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
So,
Richard's house is haunted right now. That's what happens.
she's the biggest critic, man. She's going to tell you. So you have Satori, who's trying to, get in with her dad, right? She's been on a couple shows, and she's got a new boyfriend. And you watch, you're going to have her own show coming soon because of this, probably. They all have their own agenda, right? these kids, right, through the episode, he heard about his grandmother and he started crying. And, the demographic is what, 12 to 17, and now they all want his baby, right? So that's what it's all about, man.
Hey, Richard,
tell us how you really feel.
I was just gonna say that. Tell us how you really feel.
Well,
but
that's the way it is, man.
It is. No,
Come on,
that's
more about the paranormal than these two kids, and they've got 10 million views.
I know.
That tells me that the paranormal is messed. I mean, these kids, what do they know about the after? They don't even know about life, never mind the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
How old are these kids? And they got 10 million viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously?
By the way, Richard,
So
you're allowed to swear on the show.
Have a clue that are, I didn't swear.
No, I'm saying you're allowed to.
You're allowed to.
You're allowed to if you want to.
No, that's not professional, but so it tells me there's 10 million people lined up right now to buy into the nonsense. And well, not that they would watch this show, but if they do, they hate me already.
That's fine.
I
mean, I don't mind. I don't mind being hated for speaking the truth. I really don't. Because I mean, you have worked on both sides, Richard. I have worked on both sides when it comes to TV and the research aspect. We know the difference on both sides. We know the differences.
Well,
right?
Yeah, because we have one thing that a lot of people don't have: a grasp of reality.
Yeah.
You've lost the grasp when you can't tell the difference between entertainment and what's real, and that's huge right now. That's huge. People are out
come
there.
Come on. You're telling me people who investigate the paranormal have a grasp on reality? No, I agree. But I mean, it's some. But I mean, it's the question always arises when you go in to investigate a location or, a home or whatever, and they'll say, "I hope you don't think I'm crazy." If I thought you were crazy, I wouldn't be here.
No.
If anybody's crazy, me for doing this.
So, Richard. Yeah, we have a request for you to go on another podcast, possibly. Are you watching the chat?
Right now, I'm busy. I'm talking.
Not this minute.
On Christian's.
I don't have the chat up. I'm sorry. I didn't sign up or sign in or anything. So, if you can relay stuff like that to me, that'd be great. But I don't have.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we'll put you in touch. We'll put
you in touch with her, and then you guys can work out the finer details if you want.
Well, you guys were on this.
Yeah, anytime.
They were on the show together, weren't they? One time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kristen and
who is
the Paranormal Girl? She was
Paranormal
on the
Girl podcast.
Yeah,
you're
I'd love to do. I think we're friends on Facebook. She can message me.
Okay, there you go. We don't need to do that then. You guys are in touch, so that's good.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're friends. I'm pretty sure we're friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm available. I'm retired. As long as I'm not, working on a late projects or something, I'm always available. You know that, Steve. Jeez.
Call him anytime, even if it's 4:00 in the morning. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, get me murdered. Well, you can
well, who the hell was that? No. But no.
You can see, and my analysis of this, you can see how it worked, right? They're on their way there. They're just building and building and building their own expectations of what they're going to find when they get there, right? Like
it's a sell.
Stuff has to happen.
Well,
Sure,
absolutely. I mean, if
Yeah.
nothing's going to happen, they're going to lose their followers and nobody's going to watch it. It's like
Yeah, it's
any
gotta be
TV
fun.
show, you know.
Yeah, it's got to be fun. Stuff has to happen. It's got to have some tears. It's got to have some laughter. It's got to, you need a mix of things. Bringing in some new Jason Hawes kid, that's a big plus, right? That's a draw. You're going to get people to go, hey, look at that, right? Oh. So it's all part of the, it's like making a salad. A couple of this, a few of those.
Paranormal salad.
Yeah. Who's
paranormal
tossing
salad.
that salad?
Yeah, who's tossing that salad exactly?
Yeah. How do you get the salad dressing? Hey, the ectoplasm. So
we'll have to top it off with some ghost pepper ranch.
Yeah. Yummy.
Oh, yeah, I know,
definitely.
it sounds good.
Yeah.
Ghost pepper ranch. But yeah, it's unfortunately in this day and age, and has been for a while, and more, I think more so now, you're seeing TV emulating social media. Like there is so much going on with things like YouTube and so on, TikTok and all these short videos and all these vlogs, that are really hitting the nail. They're successful because they are presenting this stuff as real and making it seem like it's real. And most people, like wrestling back in the day, will buy into it because it looks real. It seems real.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about this for the last few weeks. I started writing a blog about it. I haven't posted it. I just, I'm on I don't know. It's just the technology and society, the way they've moved together, is causing most of this problem, right? If you go back before the internet, we didn't have these problems because there wasn't a venue, right? Would you, if you were some of these kids now that are trying to fake stuff, you wouldn't bother. There's no venue. But this started 2 decades ago when everybody, whether you worked hard or you did nothing, got a ribbon at the end of the day. At school, right? So those ones that did nothing looked at the paranormal, saw what Zach Bagans was doing, and went, this is easy, and I can be popular and maybe make some money, and I can do all kinds of stuff, and it's really no effort at all. Since society made it happen, right? You now have all those different social media outlets. You have YouTube, where you can become a movie star overnight, have your own show on there. You can even become vanity press. You got a few thought daddy gives you a few grand, publish a book, right? Don't wait for that letter to come from the publisher saying, no, your book's crap. I don't want to go through that. So I'm just going to publish my own book. Doesn't matter what the content is, or even if it was spell checked, I'm just going to publish it out. Right? So everybody's a rock star.
Exactly. Like I'll give some kudos on the production value of some of this stuff. I have to say some of the production value is pretty good.
Absolutely.
Like but all in all, like a lot of the TV stuff out there, it's entertainment. It's solely for entertainment. It's
well, and didn't this episode start off with them on a merry-go-round raving about the fact that they're going to the Conjuring House because they hit 10 million subscribers?
But but after that, they got into the backstory of the Conjuring House, which is good. I like that the throwing in the historical values points of the house itself, which I give kudos to, because they didn't have to do that. They don't have to include that. Who cares? Other than, oh, this place is haunted because the movies say it is. And
yeah,
that's
but
it.
if you go, if you go look at the dynamics of either a ghost book,
Mm-hmm.
a book on a haunting, or a book, a TV show on a haunted location.
Yeah.
There's a specific mix
Mm-hmm.
that has to be there
Yeah.
to keep the audience interested.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost is we're going to a haunted location which is reputedly haunted. This
Mm-hmm.
is what's happened there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into the history of it. And then you go do the investigation. Every show is basically that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that's the mix. If you leave out one of those things, the show is crap.
My problem though is with the Conjuring House. I mean, I don't know if you looked at the website for this house and the rates it costs to book an evening there.
Right. Sure.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah. Well, you can go as a tour, like paranormal.
Yeah.
But I look at that shit and it's crap. All right, because it's paranormal tourism, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I see hundreds of them every day on Facebook. Oh, we've got a tour set up at this place, and last time we did this, and then we reviewed the evidence. We had this and this. You had evidence. You got together with 25 of your favorite strangers, and you're talking about evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a controlled environment.
That's the problem. It's never controlled. No,
but they're talking about evidence. Like, seriously. But then they'll sit on Facebook and chastise other people. Like, God, I'm God. Well, you meant to put that picture up? What? That's crap. What are you talking about? Well, who asked you to look at my stuff? Not that I would take that crap from somebody, but
no,
they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who made you the picture editor person of the universe? Like, I self-proclaim myself. I'm going to do this now. Nonsense. It's nonsense.
Another element that really bothers me about the aura of this Conjuring House, and it's not so much the fucking movies that have blown it out of proportion, but
of course, a lot of it was nonsense, right?
Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
I have a huge problem with those two, and always have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're not around to defend themselves, but yeah. I mean, Lorraine just, her husband was pretty heavy-handed, I think, and it was about the money. You want to make the money. I can give you a ghost story, but do you want to make the money? Yeah. So we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to say that, and make it interesting, and we're going to make it scary, and we're going to make money. Yep. And that's what it was, right? Half the stuff was debunked after he said it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like the Amityville.
Oh, well, that's another story. Yeah, Amityville.
Well, try the Enfield ghost.
That Enfield house. Same
they
thing.
Told him to piss off. He just showed up at the door, random. Hey, it's look at us. It's what I want. Get the hell out of here. Nobody asked.
Well,
you.
a lot of times in the beginning, that's what they used to do. They used to just show up in hopes to get into the location. They never had, in the beginning, they never had permission to come in.
Well, who the hell knew them? Nobody knew who these people were. Just show up at my house.
Well, it was the guy was a painter. The guy was a painter, an artist. He would sit there and he would sketch the location, and then he'd get Lorraine to go up to the house and see if they'd like the sketch. If they liked it, would you allow them to come in?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good word. It's just nonsense. The one that killed me the most was the owner sitting on the couch laughing her ass off like it's a game.
Mhm.
You would think if you had the scariest place on the planet,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be sitting on a couch laughing about this stuff.
No.
I think it was a game.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Especially
laughing
the
because of
stuff
the money
that
she's
saying-
making.
Well, sure, she's making tons of money, right? That's why she bought the place. It's a business. They have T-shirts.
You
Stop.
look at what look at what Alex. Look at the rates of the place alone.
No, I know.
And
That's what I'm
people are
saying.
paying. And people are paying it.
But this is why she's laughing.
Yeah.
Because she's laughing and she's raking in the money. Meanwhile, these guys are looking like idiots on TV.
Well, they're not looking like idiots because they know what was going on. They knew they were a part of it.
To us, they look like idiots.
Well, yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's again, it's all for the sheer fun of, and entertainment of it all.
It's entertainment. It's just building careers on TV. That's all. You watch, mark my words. Tori will have her own show coming up. They all work as groups, right? And they work together to keep it tight, right?
Mhm.
The outsiders don't come in because, God forbid, you give away the Cadbury secret, right? And how,
Yeah.
how, like, we don't know how they're doing stuff. But,
Yeah.
right? So she'll have her own show, her and her boyfriend, and then, her dad will make an appearance on her new show, and the ratings will go up a little bit, right? I mean, her dad, I don't know how he feels about Zach Bagans. I know they're rivals,
Mm-hmm.
but it's funny that his team will sit down with his old partner. What's that guy's name?
Oh, oh boy. Holy crap! What's his name again?
I can't remember, but I saw a little film there. They were sitting down for dinner, and it was Jason wasn't there. Jason's team, some of his
Grant.
teammates-
Grant.
Grant, yeah.
Grant. Yeah.
They were there with Grant. Josh Gates was there.
Mhm.
They're all having dinner together.
Josh
right?
Gates.
So they all work in So they all work in circles together. Jason Hawes did a couple episodes with Destination Fear. He
Mhm.
hated it. You could see it in his face. He hated working with them, but he worked with them. And Zach Bagans owns those boys, right? And the girl that's on that show, right? Because
He owns them.
That's Zach Bagans Productions, buddy. He owns.
Oh, is it?
Destination Fear.
Okay.
Help My House is Haunted. Zach Bagans owns that as well. He owns a lot of different shows. I don't like the guy, but he's a smart guy. He's making tons of money.
I remember I
don't know how many shows.
remember I was supposed to do a speaking engagement with Josh Gates in Hamilton
Oh yeah.
a few years ago, and what was it? It fell through because he wasn't going to be able to make it. But this is when, what was his first show? The first show he was doing, the Destination Unknown, was it?
The Destination Unknown, yeah.
Yeah, and this was when it was first. He was becoming a household name, and he wasn't huge or anything, but I mean he was becoming a household name when it came to this sort of thing. And so the person, the people who are putting this conference on, I knew her. She was asking me, well, I need somebody local that I would like to sort of put on the same stage as him. And I said, okay, cool. Would you like to do it? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. I wouldn't mind. I like doing guest speaking engagements or whatever else. I think it'd be pretty cool to get a feel for him, because I like the show. I like the show. I thought it was a pretty entertaining show. I liked it because of the
I love his work. I
yeah.
like his work. I like the guy. He's smart. He's he's quick. He's funny.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the locations that he was exploring too. And again, it was a TV show, but Yeah, it fell through, but that never happened, unfortunately. But whatever. It's all about the mighty dollar, I guess, when it comes down to it. I mean, they were going to give him quite a few bucks.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
To show up.
Like a lot of them are like that.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
I know a guy. He teaches paranormal research stuff. He teaches investigations. He teaches. He's in with a pretty big institution, when it comes to the paranormal. He's an author. He's a great guy. Ask him a question. You know what the answer is?
What?
How much you paying me?
Well, yeah.
How much you gonna pay?
Yeah.
Hey, can you see if you were? How much is that worth?
Are you gonna fly me out? You put me up in a hotel? Sure. Yeah.
Good Lord, that's like.
You can stay at my house. Fuck you.
Yeah, making pasta.
My house is haunted. Come over and investigate it. There you go. Okay, we're gonna take our halfway break here. When we come back, we'll go on with I don't know, soul stealing and
soul swapping
and all sorts of other fun stuff with Richard Palmisano. So hold on, we'll be right back. You're listening and watching Nocturnal Frequency Radio on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course here on our YouTube and Twitch stations or channels, not stations. Where do we get stations from? Channels. The channels. You know the channels? The channels. Yeah. Well, you know the channels because you're watching one of them. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Nocturnal Frequency Radio.
Good evening. I'm Richard Palmisano, the founder of the Searcher Group. It's a paranormal company, the oldest in Canada. I founded in 1979, which not only makes me old, but makes me doing paranormal research and field work for just under 45 years now. I am also an author, researcher, and lecturer on the paranormal. I've written 6 books now. And I really enjoy coming on with Steve and Alex on Nocturnal Frequency Radio, as well as listening to the shows, because there's a lot of interesting guests there. I like it, looking at this stuff, because it opens your mind to other options and other alternative thoughts. And, there's always time to learn new things. So I hope you join us and come and see Nocturnal Frequency Radio. Thank you.
So let me ask you, what makes for good radio?
My 5 favorite songs all day long.
Play it again.
No.
As many commercials as physically possible.
What? No, why would that be good?
Great music, great talk shows, no commercials.
Precisely. New Visions Radio gives you no commercials, no nonsense, just the best new music and the best talk all day long, 24/7, 365. newvisionsradio.com.
Hey guys, Kristen here, host of the Paranormal Girl podcast, a bingeable exploration and deep dive education about the paranormal for the skeptical believer. Some of my past season topics have included shadow people, Mandela effect, demons, and UFOs. Currently, I am tackling Bigfoot. I have been sharing this journey with my audience since early 2021, and I have learned a lot these last few years. It's truly a mysterious world out there beyond our perceptions, and reality is just not what it seems. I have also, since the start, met some awesome folks like Alex and Steve, and I've really enjoyed watching and learning from them and also joining them on their show. Their guests are always outstanding, their listeners are just the coolest, and these hosts are some of my favorite people. I recommend their show to anyone looking for an intelligent and fun conversation about the paranormal amongst friends. So join me on my investigation, join Steve and Alex on theirs, and enjoy. Now back to the show. You are watching Nocturnal Frequency Radio.
And welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome
So,
back.
Richard, do you feel that old?
Yeah, I do.
When I was noticing your reaction when you said that in your little promo thing there. He had a little chuckle at it. So,
Well, you know, it's years and years and years of doing, a dual life, right?
yeah,
Almost 40 years in protective services and law enforcement end of things, right? And all kinds of crazy shifts and crazy stuff that, I had to go through in that. And then when I had time off, I did paranormal stuff, right? So it takes its toll, man. It's, you see so much stuff on both sides of the fence, right?
Yeah.
The criminal end of it and then the paranormal end of it. It's it's a good education.
Well, let me ask. Yeah, exactly. Let me ask you: Do you think you've made a difference in the paranormal community? Do you think you've made a difference
In the community? No, I don't. I don't think anybody has.
Mm-hmm.
Even some of the old timers that did this back in the 60s and 50s and right back to the 1920s. I mean, is there influence? Maybe a little bit. I may have made some difference in individual lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe passing on some information or some training or some direction, but in the community as a whole, I mean, do we really make that big influence? I don't think so. I don't have 10 million viewers or followers, or so. I'm certainly not influencing huge numbers at all. It's pretty small. It's pretty tight knit. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to take what I'm learning and change your religion. This is very interesting, very cool, very informative. I'm learning a ton of stuff, and I try and share that, and hopefully you get something out of it. Most of the time, I just put stuff out there to get people to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, consider this, right? We've looked at it this way for so long, and I'll find an alternative to it, and I'll say, how about we look at it this way? And most of the people go, no, this is more comfortable. I'm just going to stick with this. But it's those few people that go, hey, it makes sense. Let's explore it. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. You tell me. Take that information, work with it, and come back and say, it didn't work. It was garbage. Or, hey, it made sense. It worked for me. That's all we're going to know. And then once that happens, we're making some progress. So, yeah, I feel old.
Okay. Well, I know you've taken the time to share your experiences through various avenues. Your books, and you've had a parapsychology thing going on, right? Is that still active?
Not really. No, not right now. It's I'm in a position right now. It's not a good position because I'm in a rural area where religion rules the day.
Have you thought about doing it online, the parapsychology thing?
I have, but I don't think it's time. I really don't. I think it's, I'm looking at maybe scrap the whole idea, because people don't want to learn. They don't want to learn.
Yeah.
The first thing they'll tell you is there's no experts. There are no experts in this field.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah. We're all students. We're all constantly learning.
Right. So if we're all students and we're all learning, who am I to teach?
From experience.
Yeah.
From experience. I mean, you've got 40 years of experience.
They know it all.
Out of all the people that I know, Richard, out of all the people I know, you, to me, even now with I know a lot of people in the paranormal, and you have invested so much time and effort into theory. And you said it yourself, revisiting these old theories and trying to make sense of them. Do they still jive? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. This is what I mean. These are things that fascinate me about you, because you do this stuff. I can't think of anybody else really doing that.
Well, it needs to be done, and it's not the easy stuff. Everybody's looking for the easy stuff to do, right?
But this is what I mean. I think people would find that fascinating. I mean, I know I do. I think people would find that fascinating.
Well, when I get the information, I try and put it out there one way or another. I try and put it out. And I'm hoping that a few people take it, look at it. This is how we make advance. If I can say anything, it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's what I found. So in science, you come up with a theory, and you throw it out there. You do a paper on it, and then other people read it, and they take that and they search it, and they try and work with it. Does it make sense? Does it work or doesn't it? If it works, and enough people say it works, we're into new theory, a new way to do stuff. Right, and we're making progress, and that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
The whole reason I started the Searcher group was for the advancement, to push it forward, to learn new things as we move forward. And the only way to do that is to dig deep, find these little gems and throw them out there. And hopefully there's a bunch of people that are smarter than me, to take it and do wonderful things with it.
Now, do you think you've advanced? This is what the question I was asking. Do you think you've advanced it?
No. Most of the work I put out there is being bastardized, plagiarized. There's no source material. So even if somebody recognized it and said, that makes sense, there's no source to it. So I'm not even linked to it. It was stolen. I came up, I think I talked to Alex probably a decade ago about this.
The bubble matrix?
20 years ago, 25 years ago, I wrote a theory on how to connect with a spirit and cause it to react. It's a long process, and it's in my second book, so it goes way back. Somehow, I believe, some of these TV shows got hold of this, didn't give me any credit, said it's too long of a process for a 40-minute TV show.
Yeah.
How can we bastardize it to make it work for us?
Yeah.
It turned into picking fights and with a spirit or calling it names or doing all kinds of stuff like that. Right? Very popular with Zach Bagans, right? Where he goes in and he picks a fight with the spirit, right? He just calls them names. You're a coward and all kinds of crap. And that's how it got bastardized. That had no intention of it being that way. And I think I sent the whole process to you, Alex, at one point. It's the same with, I was doing the lectures at the CNE. And one of the questions was, can a ghost kill you? And I flippantly said, well, it doesn't make sense that a ghost would kill you, because then you would be a ghost and you'd be on the same playing field as that other ghost. And then there would be payback. You could, beat their ass for eternity. So there was a guy sitting in the audience, and he took that and he ran with it, and he worked for Robot Chicken, if you remember that TV show. And he did a whole skit on it. He did a whole episode on it. I didn't get any credit. No credit at all. He just said, oh, that's cool, and I'm going to run with it. I did an entire section of a theory that took me decades to work out, which is the memory matrix, the memory bubble. And the Simpsons did an episode on it. Never got any credit for it. They even called it by name. 1 year after my book was published, they came out with the episode. Highest grossing episode they ever made. Never got any credit for it. How do you fight Fox? You can't, right?
No.
Every employee they have 4 lawyers. So I'm just a Canadian. Well, piss off. That's their attitude. So have I made a splash? No. Maybe for a few individuals that follow my work,
but that's all that should matter, because at the end of the day, if what you're saying is you want someone to take what you've come up with and extend it forward, that's all you need to do, is to be able to reach a few people. Right.
Yeah.
So doing these sort of things that Steve was referencing to earlier, I think would be beneficial, even if it's just for 3 or 4 people. You do it online with 3 or 4 people. It doesn't matter if they grasp what you're saying and they run with what you're saying and sort of advance it forward. You've done what you've set out to do.
Yeah. I agree. And I'm not here to change the world. I'm not here to change your religion. I just throw it out there. Maybe when I'm dead, 50, 60 years from now, some dusty archive, they'll find these books and they'll go, I wonder if this works. Right? I mean, that's how the old masters became popular or famous, I guess. Myers and even Hans Hosler. I've been doing, actually, somebody told me I've done more field work longer than Hans Hosler has. So you can imagine that.
But I honestly do think people would enjoy the information. I really do. I really think people would find it very useful and enjoy, and really, I think it would spark conversation, debate, all sorts of stuff. I really do. And that's what I mean. Like when you've been on with us with dark discussions, and we've talked about certain things, and it sparks people in the chat, and people are like, and some of the questions and the comments and everything else, it's like, wow, this is really in depth. This is really cool. It makes people think.
Well, it's that's the number one thing, and that if I had any goal at all, it's to make people think about stuff, right? Because I like alternatives. I like wearing somebody else's shoes. I like putting myself in that position. I like doing those things. It's worked for me not only in the paranormal, but in the other work I used to do too. Because how does a criminal think, or how's he good? Why does he do that? Right, and it helps me, and I can understand those things better.
Yeah.
So by doing that, when I see something, I like to walk around it, 360 degrees, and look at it from every direction and find out why, how, right? Because we perceive things head on, we're forward looking, we see it, and we make up our mind based on the information we have, our ideologies, our prejudice, all that stuff, and we come to a conclusion, and sometimes that conclusion is wrong. You got to walk around it, and then once you do that, you might have 3 or 4 different alternatives to it. Why did it happen? Because of this or that.
Yeah.
And you can start examining things and then going down different pathways that might lead you to not a snap judgment, but a more clear picture of what you're looking at.
Oh, you know what I wanted to. Quinn, by the way, Quinn, who's in chat. Guess what? Look what showed up today. Look, your nocturnal frequency beanie toque hat. So now we're just waiting for the stickers to show up. As soon as the stickers show up, this will be shipped to your house, buddy. Congratulations, by the way, for winning it.
Nice.
Quinn, we had a giveaway on our Halloween show last Sunday night, and Quinn won the question.
Way to go.
The question was, what is our nickname? What is our nickname for Richard Palmisano?
No, that was not the question.
That wasn't the question. No. The question was, what was the question?
Gord.
Maybe
Gord's nickname.
Gord's nickname.
Yeah.
Gord's nickname is Dr. Demon Gord, right?
Yep.
But speaking of, and thanks a lot.
Variation is that they wore costumes to
That's cool.
He's hilarious.
Ow! Shit! Oh, that hurt. That was not paranormal.
The comic relief on an investigation.
Yeah.
He's something else, man. Quick as a whip. Some of the shit he comes up with, you're just like, wow. Dr. Demon Richard. Demon Richard. So, okay. Soul swapping, soul stealing. I did a little bit of research on this, and a lot of it goes back to the occult and witchery, if you will. And I came. I'm just trying to find it here again. Let me just. This intriguing story. Let me just see. I just want to make sure I got the right one here. I found it rather interesting because it's a tidbit that I don't think a lot of people know. And of course, I can't find it. I should have marked it. Yeah.
I couldn't find a whole lot on it, but
no. Let me see. I thought I had it, but
How would anybody want to swap souls?
Yeah, but how can you?
No,
That's
let's
the
go.
question.
Let's go based on the assumption that it can be done. Why would anybody want to do it?
Yeah. I want to
It's
steal
Freaky
your soul.
Friday, man.
Yeah.
Hey, why? I want to steal your soul. I mean, why would somebody want to steal your soul? Why do they want to steal your soul? I mean, that's the question. Why would anybody want to steal your soul?
Yeah, I can't see it being like what like the people think that I'm going to steal your soul and I'm going to gain more power. Unless it's Dr. Demon Gord, that's a different story.
Sounds
no.
like nonsense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because are you going to go quietly?
That too, right?
Right.
Okay. No, it's driving me nuts now. I can't find it. Oh man, that drives me nuts.
What would happen if that was the case?
What if you were able to?
Yeah.
What, swap?
Swap souls.
Yeah.
I mean, what would ultimately happen if you were
Yeah,
able
that's
to do
what
that?
like I'm curious.
Well, it'd be like that. What was that stupid movie? Freaky Friday. Where they,
Yeah.
Right? Mom became the daughter became the mom.
Yeah.
I think it's nonsense. You know, it's like Slender Man. I mean, you know, it's like there's not enough weird stuff out there. We need to start creating more weird.
I think I'm going to swap my soul with Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Be a billionaire for a few days.
Yeah. Yeah. Just transfer a couple bucks to your account.
Yeah, that's of course.
And then jump back. So.
You won't miss a million here or there.
Okay, so here I have it. I have it here. Okay, hold on. Let me just get a. Okay, so it's titled the 1768 Chinese Sorcery Scare. Okay, so let's see. The emperor investigates soul stealing. Soul stealers. The Chinese Chinese sorcery scare of 1768. So basically, in the summer of 1768, China was in the midst of one of its most famous witch hunts. A story that grabbed the attention of an American scholar who found meaning in the 20th century and has gone to inform a generation of Chinese students and teachers in the 21st. Anyways, the story. Okay, let's get to the story here. Get to the stories. Okay, so where is the meat and bones of this guy? Because I could be here all night reading this. So basically, China back then was predominantly Buddhist, and it was during the Qin dynasty. So basically, what had happened was a series of events in which a number of Masons and members of transient populations were charged with sorcery in central and eastern China, especially in the lower Yangtze River Delta region. These accusations of sorcery were focused on the idea of soul stealing, Chao Han, a process in which the accused was thought to use sorcery against someone else in order to obtain that person's soul, thereby giving the sorcerer power and causing the victim to fall ill or die. The most frequently reported cases of soul stealing in 1768 were charges of queue cutting, which involved the act of cutting off a man's queue. Okay. The act of cutting off a man's queue possessed political significance and drew the attention of Emperor Q Long, whatever. These accusations eventually resulted in a large-scale investigation headed by the emperor. He wished to track down and prosecute what was believed to be a network of sorcerers led by a ring of master sorcerers. In the end, the investigation was closed without full-scale prosecution of the master sorcerers or their followers. Funny, the Masons, huh? The Masons.
Sounds like a movie. You should make a movie out of it.
Well,
It'd be right up there with Plan 9 from Outer Space.
I wouldn't doubt it if they have already.
It's terrible.
I
would suspect.
Where do you think they got the Freaky Friday idea from?
Yeah, I would suspect that it's sort of like I got your nose. If you want it back, it's $2,500. Right.
But I mean, it goes to show you that these things do exist. In literature.
Yeah. Well,
but
the world is wrought with strange things. Man.
Well,
the world is
yeah.
wrought with strange things.
Mm.
I mean, nothing's new.
How about this? Do you believe in what's that fucking term now? That's my fucking train of thought. Jeez. Out of body projection. Astral projection.
Sure.
Okay. Now, that is when your soul leaves your body and you go and explore the nether realms, so to speak.
Right.
What happens if someone occupies your body before you get a chance to come back? Like if we're going on the premise that astral projection actually exists and it can actually be attained, your soul leaves your body temporarily. If someone else is doing it,
now
you can stop them from coming into your body and stealing your body. Right.
Does it, or can possession? So the body apparently can have more than one soul.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you have under possession, there's a soul, and then there's a whole legion in there together, right? So apparently there's room. So I don't know.
There's a fucking party going on, and I don't even know about it.
Well,
so okay, let's go even further by saying, okay, so when a person passes away, their energy, if you want to call their soul or whatever, it migrates somewhere else to something else, right?
Sure. Right.
Who is it to say that there could possibly be in that realm where the souls are, the energy field or whatever else, a soul catcher? Somebody who collects souls.
Oh, soul collector. There's been movies on that too.
Yeah, there's been movies on it, but I mean, who's to say that isn't a thing?
It could be a thing. Sure. We don't know what's going on in beyond that veil. We don't know. There's
all I know is that I'm coming back to haunt people when I die.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. Wait a sec, you're still here. No.
I'm only haunting skeptics.
Yeah, I'm only haunting skeptics.
Oh, right.
So, we don't know what's the threat. What are the threats beyond the veil for that individual, for that soul?
Yeah.
Are there dangers that we don't know about? We're not asking, and this is the problem with investigators. No, we're not asking the right questions. When we communicate with the dead, we need to ask the right questions. We're not doing that. Are you here? Can you knock? No, what's it like? Is it hot? Is it cold? Are you with other people? Are you with other spirits? Where do you dwell? Where do you go? Like, we need to ask the right questions. We need to start unraveling the mystery. And like you have a dead person's attention, maybe for a few minutes or moments, and you're recording it. Why do we ask the stupid questions? It's like finding, some major important historical character, and go, so what are you up to? Like Genghis Khan, you imagine?
Mhm.
Here's Genghis Khan. You've got 2 seconds to ask him a question, and you go, so what are you up to?
Or what's your name?
Yeah. Sam, what's your name? You
It's
know, like we're not asking the right questions. Investigators, if you want to be an investigator, you gotta really, you know, and don't think of it at the spur of the moment. Think of it ahead of time. You're going to be in these positions eventually, somewhere along the way. What are the questions you want to know? Ask.
Well, how about this one? Is there any direct connection between an EVP and that person's soul?
Sure, ask it.
You know, I'm capturing the EVP of what I think is this particular person that is known to have lived in this location.
Yep.
Is this an extension of that person's soul, that person's energy? Or is it just an echo of exhausted energy that's, you know, been exhausted the one time, and for some reason it comes back and it plays over and over and over? It's a different energy. It's not, you know, connected to that person at all.
No, I don't think so. It's you're communicating with someone or something. You're you know, you're getting into the stone tape theory.
Yeah.
Which again, it's garbage. Right?
Mhm.
It's one off. It's garbage. I don't believe in it at all. You are in communication with someone or something. And I only say that because of the communication I have made over the years with people that weren't information that they never used in a particular location are now sharing that information in a particular location. So it's not stone tape theory.
Yeah.
If it was, that information would not exist in that location. It would be, I'd have to go to where the source was originally. And information that you just can't know. When you receive information that you just can't know, and you have to go to another source and say, what does this mean? Well, something's going on there, you know, and it's something important. You know, the best one I have, I mean, I've had thousands of EVPs, but I think the very best one, because I can actually verify it, was I was investigating in my parents' house where I lived when I was younger. My dad had passed. My mom was going out for the night. I have a deceased brother who I know resides in that house. And I asked her, I said, do you mind? She said, no, go ahead, I'm going out. So she went out for the evening. I brought a medium. I brought my brother, who works with me. We did recordings. We asked questions. And I got my dad. I know his voice.
Oh, wow.
And he only said one word. One word. And it was clear, perfectly clear. And I had no idea.
Eat your peas.
Yeah, no, just one word. And it was clear as day. But I knew what the word was, but I just didn't know what it meant. So when my mother came home, I said, well, I think I got this recording. It was Dad. Do you want to hear it? She said, sure. And I played it. And of course, it got emotional because she recognized the voice. And we knew he was there, but it did get emotional. And she said, that was my nickname when we were dating.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea. My brother had no idea. There's no way to know.
Yeah.
And she confirmed. So how can I explain that? You know what I mean? And who would know it? Who would know?
Yeah, exactly.
Except those two people.
Alex, what do you think your dad would say if for some odd reason you picked up an EVP or of your dad? What do you think he would say? What do you think it would say?
That's tough to say.
Like something that he would like a phrase that he'd always say, or something he'd always say to you, sort of thing.
Yeah, he always used to call me. What was the term? He was a very religious man.
Yeah,
he was very like staunch Catholic, and
yeah,
the rest of the family, my mother included, were not.
Mm.
He'd always used to joke around. What kind of a Christian are you? In Italian, mind you.
Yeah.
Right, but
how do you say it in Italian? Say it in Italian.
All right. But the point is that, huh?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say. I mean, if anything, it'll probably be that, especially if he sees me doing all this stuff too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What kind of Christian are you? Yeah.
So see, your father may not communicate with you because of his belief system and being a true believer in Catholicism. He may not recognize that he should do this sort of thing, right? Because in Catholicism, we're not supposed to do any of this stuff. This is terrible stuff, man. Blasphemy. So he may want to reach out. He may want to communicate. He might be overseeing you and watching you, but he may be, in his belief, afraid to make that contact.
Yeah, that's quite possible. Mind you, I haven't really attempted it,
right?
To be honest with you, but that wouldn't surprise me.
Right.
You know, if I gotten nothing, I'd be more tempted to believe that I'd get my mom over my dad, because she was never really that religious anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that. I don't think I'd get anything from my dad. I have had people tell me that he's been around me.
Yeah.
Right. But that's as far as it goes.
Yeah. And they keep watch. They keep close. They keep watch. They try and help. I guess, I don't know. I guess they feel obligated, right?
Yeah.
Especially when Alex walks into that burrito shop and grabs a big ass. Well, you're gonna kill yourself, man. Stop eating those damn things. They're not good for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's right. Oh man.
Or when he breaks out the Ouija board.
Oh fuck.
Oh, then he's gonna be cursing at you, buddy.
I'll be like, which one? I got 3 of them here. I got Scott's Ouija board, like Scott McClellan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When he did the Ouija board for his paranormal show, I got one of that. I got his board, and I got a couple other ones.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I don't have any yet. I tossed them all out.
You tossed them all out? What are your thoughts on Ouija boards?
It's just a tool in the toolbox, right? It's It's no different than EVP. It's no different than a pen.
Yeah, exactly.
I use pendulums all the time. You just have to use them properly. It's like any other tool, right? There's a proper way to use it. There's an improper way to use it, and there's a little bit of safety involved.
How often do you think you've brought something home with you?
Oh, a dozen times, maybe a dozen. Right. There was one case where we were working a location, and something from that location ended up at. There was myself and 4 investigators, and this thing went to every one of our houses.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. So how it does that,
I'm not gonna lie. I know I've had things come home. I have.
But I've told them to leave. You're not welcome here. You gotta go. Be on your way. The good thing is these things are connected. They have an attachment to the location you were at.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll come, follow you, see what's going on, what are you doing, where do you live,
Curious.
what's happening. But they're not comfortable. They need to go back because that's where they're attached to.
Well, they're familiar with that. They're familiar.
Yeah, that's their home base. They're gonna be. They're gonna
Nothing ever followed me home.
What's that?
Nothing's ever followed me home.
That you know. That you know of. You never know. I've had a lot of weird shit happen here, man. A lot of weird shit. You see this little black box here down there. See that little black box down there?
Yeah.
Little army chest.
Yeah. Well, you told.
Did I tell you
I
about
think
that?
we talked the last show. Yeah, the last show we talked about that. Yeah.
I tell you about that? Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about
that. And this guy here, where is he? Oh man, did I put him away? Oh, hold on. He's right here.
He's getting his vibrator, folks.
So this guy here, little pelican LED lapel, put on your lapel, and then you open it up, it lights up, right?
Yep. Yep.
This thing did not work for years. It didn't work. I'd open it up, no matter what, it wouldn't light up, nothing. And I used to have it just on the desk over here. And I remember one night we came home and I come upstairs and I see this little light on the desk, open and on. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the fuck? You literally have to pry it open,
mm-hmm.
And this thing was just sitting on the desk, open and on. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's so subtle, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, they're curious. They're going to play with stuff. They're going to hide stuff. I have a resident. I have a resident spirit lives in the house. I mean, it's 130-year-old Victorian.
Yeah.
And they play games and they do stuff. I mean, they're not, they're not bad. It's not like I'm gonna go to war with them. They'll bother the dog once in a while, or they'll play some games, or they'll, I had a box of these flavored crackers. We were gonna go. This was a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought them, and we were going on a road trip, and I said, "Oh, we should grab those crackers. We could eat them in the car on the way." So you open the pantry, they're right there. So open the pantry, they're not there. So I searched the whole pantry.
Yeah.
Let's check out the whole kitchen. I can't find them. There's no. So hell with it. We gotta go. So we get in the car. So we get home that night. Didn't think about it. In the morning, I got up and I was gonna have some cereal. Open the pantry, and they're right there. Just a game. Games like that, right?
Yeah.
The TV will come on by itself, or the DVD will play by itself, or you shut all the lights off. You go upstairs. You go to bed. You get up in the morning, and the lights are on in the kitchen. So, okay. Just subtle stuff.
There was one day. I have pictures along, coming up the stairs to the top floor on the stairwell there on the wall. And just one day, the picture, I have this picture of my grandparents, my one set of grandparents, and it had fallen off. It fell off the wall, went down the stairs, tumbled down the stairs, and then went into the washroom. Like I have a washroom on the main floor, and it tumbled right into there, and it sat face up along the wall.
Interesting. Yeah.
And it was just really weird the way it fell. Like and the glass didn't break, which is another oddity. I mean, the way it fell from the stairs and then tumbled onto the floor, I'm surprised the glass didn't crack.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've seen stuff like that.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You're just like, okay, so, and then you're like, for a week, you're like, okay, what's the message?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Have you ever investigated your own house? Do you dare do that?
I started, and then I said no. I never investigate my own place. It's not a good idea.
No.
No. It's not a good idea.
I refuse to.
Yeah. You need a third party.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we would intervene to, somebody's got a haunted location.
Yeah.
But paranormal activity, as soon as you start an investigation, paranormal activity will escalate.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've made that connection, and now they understand that you are investigating them, you can communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And spirits are there's only certain types of reasons they're there, right?
Yeah.
And the two of the ones that cause the most problem is the one that has a story to tell,
mm-hmm.
and the one that has a secret to keep.
Yeah.
And you usually find them at the same location. There's always usually more than one. It's rare to find one ghost in one location. It's usually a handful at least. And that's where the problem becomes. Is this one's got that story to tell, usually about the other one that did something wrong. And the one that's got the secret to keep doesn't want that one telling the story. So there's that conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to do everything they can to tell you the story. The other one's going to do everything they can to make sure they don't. And that's where you get into trouble. That's when they come to your house. They try to scare you off.
Scare you off, yeah. Get out. Get out.
Yeah. So going back to, is there a threat on the other side of the veil? Well, that's one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is it when there's a murder? Violent murder. And it seems like the victim's there.
Yeah.
After the murder. And then no matter when, it can be 20, 30, 50 years later, the murderer dies. The murderer seems to go back to the scene of the crime.
Crime scene, yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's the case. It seems to be the case, but I don't know if it's true. It could be the victim is projecting and manifesting the killer. They're playing both roles.
Yeah.
And we assume that the killer's there. Like sort of the Velisca murder, axe murder.
Yeah.
Is the killer there? Or collectively the victims are projecting manifestation of the killer. They're trying to tell their story of who that was and living through the trauma again.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, it's fascinating how imagine the thought of answering or solving a case through something like that,
right?
Through a haunting.
Mm-hmm. I believe it can be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need to, and I think, well, I can't remember the memory is not as good as it used to be, but there was a case, I think it was in the UK. No, I could be wrong. It's vaguely familiar, but there is a case where a killer was convicted by test information, evidence given by the dead.
Wow.
I'll look that case up. I'll send you a copy.
Yeah, that's pretty intriguing, man.
Yeah, I do remember it occurring. I think it's the only one on record.
Yeah.
But it can be done. Like I said,
Yeah.
we need to ask the right questions.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
We never did.
No.
We need to put some more thought into what the hell we're
You
doing.
mean asking them their shoe size isn't a valid question?
Yeah.
Well, what do they feel now that they're dead? Do they still have the same belief in the religion that they believed in before?
Yeah, that'll be an interesting question.
There's a lot that don't. And I know that because I've been in places where religious items are destroyed, crosses are thrown.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, people would jump to the conclusion that they're dealing with a demonic entity. I believe that this is happening to tell you that they believed all their life, and now they found themselves in a situation where nobody on that religious end of things is showing up to take them to the happy land. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, what's going on here? I was good all my life, and where's my reward? This is not what I was told. This is not what I was sold.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a disgruntled religious.
Well, we're at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock. Richard, get all your info out there for the listeners and viewers as to where they can find you.
Yeah, well, I'm on Facebook. You can look me up there, or you can Google me, or you can email me at richard@thesearchergroup.ca, or you can go to my website, which is thesearchergroup.ca. And yeah, that's look, if you want to look up my books, you can go to Amazon.
I've put a link to your books in the description. I've put a link to your books and to the Searcher group and so on and so on. So yeah, people can go to our description down below and click the link to find Richard and haunt him. He's looking for somebody to haunt him.
Who's willing to hear from people and if they got questions or if they have answers, even better.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I really do think you should do some sort of online seminar sort of thing. I really do. I think people would be very intrigued by it, Richard. I really do.
Well, we'll talk. Maybe we'll do a partnership.
Sure.
Okay? We'll do
Yeah. I can do the producing, Betty. I can produce it for you if you want.
Yeah, I would. All right. Yeah, because I'm not I'm not the techie guy. I'm not the set up a production stuff. It's not me. It's just not. I don't mind going to some institution or some corporation and talking for a couple hours on ghosts, hauntings, stuff like that. But
there's, I didn't know. Folks, you ever seen the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah.
Well, we're all a bunch of cuckoos. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, Richard. Thanks, buddy. Really appreciate it, man. And yeah, and I'm sure obviously we'll do this again. We always enjoy having you on the show, buddy.
Yeah,
we really do, man.
Love doing it. Well, we'll talk. We got there's a few things we should talk about.
Absolutely,
and,
absolutely.
I'm very, very interested in your writing career.
Yeah, like Alex, I finally started it, man.
Started writing?
Yeah, I finally started.
Good.
Finally starting.
Started your blossoming writing career.
Yeah,
we're going to talk.
It's taking me this long just to start one.
That's okay. Once you get it done and you get the
you get the bug. Do you get the bug? Is there a bug?
There's a bug, yeah.
Is there a bug?
It's hard It's hard. I mean, I could have. I guess I could have been like. I know a few people, a few authors that they can produce 6, 7 books a year.
Jesus,
it's easy to do. No, it's easy to do.
I'm sure it is. But you need
I know
something to
the
talk
method.
about. You
No,
need
I
something
know
to
the
write
method.
about, right?
Well, no, it's I can teach you the method. You could be a prolific writer.
Well, there.
These guys are
I'm
writing
listening.
about haunted locations
Yeah.
where they've only visited once. If
Wow.
that. And sometimes they
Wow.
don't even take any photographs. They just said, "Well, I went there." They didn't do.
I
anything.
went there. This is what happened.
Book.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, just book after book after book after book. It's unbelievable. It's garbage, but it's it's there.
It's garbage.
I mean, okay. I've been in this almost 45 years. I've done well. I'll have 6 books. I got a new book coming, but not every haunted location merits a book.
No.
I've seen hundreds of haunted locations. Are they interesting? Absolutely. They're fascinating places. Do they merit a book? No. And that's what I'm telling you about going back to that formula, right? You have to have a backstory. You have some good history on it. You have to have what happened, and then your investigation. You need those things to produce a book. Most of these places do not have those elements. And why would I saturate a market? Never mind to plead with a publisher to print garbage like that. To say, oh, it's a haunted house. Well, what happened? Oh, I heard some knocking. It doesn't make a book. It does not make a book. It doesn't merit anybody's time or money.
Exactly. Exactly. All righty. Well, thanks again, Richard.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks everybody who tuned in, listened, watched us here on YouTube and Twitch. Until next Sunday night, take care, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Later.
Take care. Have a good night.